Today on Tamanon's Tournament Tune-In, we will be breaking down the largest North American WIXOSS in-person event to date, Battle for Sleepies, taking place January 29th, 2023 at Turn Zero Games in sunny Los Angeles with a whopping 26 selectors fighting to become the Eternal Girl and have their wishes come true. Called Battle for Sleepies as top prizes included Sleepy promo box toppers and even a Sleepy question mark card, and because box topper Sleepies were given out as a raffle, despite selling for $80 or more at the time, this event had it all thanks to the amazing shop owner Selector Suh, who has been here for the West Coast selectors since set zero. As you can see in the background, some games were live streamed on DrnkCrunk Franken's YouTube, and he so kindly allowed me to use the footage. If you want to see some random games throughout the event as well as some of the top 8, I highly recommend it. While I'll be covering the entire metagame breakdown, I thought we'd start with the top 4 list to begin. Coming in first was a very anti-meta list called Rig Jail, and we have the creator to talk about it here.
Hey all, this is Skewer. Y'all may know me as the mono white guy from Ceremony. The deck I played this time was Monica 2.0, featuring Umer and Machina assists. The idea is you prevent your opponent from attacking after they hit level 3 for 2 full turns, and attempt to win in the meantime. The deck has pretty good matchups into common Elrics such as Tama and Tamago, who really depend on being able to swing. It also shuts down certain pieces such as Entwined Supremacy and Peeping Future pretty hard. My favorite inclusion in the deck is Audemula, which a lot of you might not know, but it really does help shore up Blue's weaknesses against big bodies. Anyways, big shoutouts to Turn Zero Games for hosting this awesome tournament, and the entire WIXOSS community for keeping this game alive. Peace.
Second place was titled Deck Number 1, and the creator missed very narrowly having that name take first. And here's her comments on the deck.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm Sherry. I also go by Runaru. I won second with a Tamago deck at the T0 shop, and I think it's a pretty generic black-blue deck for Tamago. I chose her because she was my favorite out of the Elrics, and then my friend helped me build the deck a while ago, and I ended up changing out just some of the assists. I changed to break and bind, and my thought was that most people at the shop would be running H2O Deuce or X or things that get screwed over pretty hard by break. So that was my entire logic on that. And yeah, this deck dies against both black and white. I think Tamago doesn't have a great matchup into them to begin with, but this dies harder.
The next 2 spots were tied for 3rd and 4th place. To start, we have Tomboy Supremacy 10,001 Years, with the creator's commentary, of course.
Hi, this is Autumn, the #1 DXM evangelist in North America. For this event, I played X-Center DXM dual-wielding both Trigger and Death deck as my pieces. The core aim of the deck is to put a huge amount of pressure on your opponent by getting free cloth removal off of them, and then to put down some combination of Signy that gets around their assists. The 2 main techs are Lalaru for buying disrespect type assists, and Tengu for clap and other downing effects. Both Trigger and Death decks serve to directly remove cloth and recur whatever threats you might need, and constantly punish your opponent regardless of what they choose to do. The deck itself doesn't have any particularly good or bad matchup necessarily, but instead depends a lot on pilot metagame knowledge to clock and respond to whatever possible assists your opponents might have. Thanks so much!
And in the other 3rd/4th place was me with my White Wedding deck, and almost the exact same list I talked about on the Life Burst podcast. Main change was a full set of Mommy Archwinds, which the Shadow and Dig were very useful for me throughout the day. If you want more information on the list, see the cards attached for my crossover episode with Life Burst. For the full meta breakdown, let's start with the basics. All decks ran 4 Servants. Best card in the game? Maybe so. Next important is color distribution. This was determined from counting the colors of assists and centers for total and top 8. In top 8, black was 38% of total rig use. Next was white, close second at 33%. Not far behind is blue at 21%. red sitting on only 8% of the distribution, and green had zero representation in top 8 at all. Comparing to overall distribution, the numbers aren't incredibly different. Black still at 38%, white down a few points at 30%, blue down to 18%. Red, however, is up to 11%, and green ekes in at 3% of total color distribution. Breaking down top 8 centers, we see top is Tama sitting at 38%, followed by Deus at 25%. Next at 13% each are X, Tamago, and Medaka. Total meta distribution is slightly different for centers. Tama still sits as the most popular choice, with 23% of players centering her. Deus and X are tied at 15% each. Tamago and Urith sitting not far behind at 12%. Medaka, Akino, Rei, Umer, and Miko Miko sit at 4% of the total meta each, which is about one player. Moving on to assists, the top 8 assists point a picture. 31% of top 8 ran Machina as an assist, double any other assist usage. Madoka, Angie, and Lion all sitting at 13%. Yuka, X, Toko, Deus, and Umer assists all at 6% of top 8 because they were only used in one deck each. Total assists aren't that far off either. Machina assists once again topping in at 25% of the total meta. Shouldn't surprise anyone who's looked at the Japanese meta. Deus and Angie at 12%, with Lion at 10%. Yuka has a surprising 8% showing along with Medaka. At 4% we have X, Maho, and Hanyo assists. At the short end, usually meaning one total player on them, sitting at 2% is Toko, Umer, Bang, Midoriko, Tamago, and Tawil. Pieces being a huge part of the game, showed an interesting distribution. Top 8 Xeno Cluster at a whopping 18%, tied with Trigger of Victory for the most used piece. A 4-way tie between Death Deck, White Heaven, Summer Lives Blue, and Burning Curiosity for second most usage at 12%. At 6% each, MGD, Super Hestia Saber, and Garden of Singularity follow through. Overall distribution of pieces looks a bit different. Xeno Cluster making up 21% of meta choice, it is clearly the Swiss Army knife of choice, with every other piece almost half as much use. Death Deck sits at 13%, with White Heaven and Trigger of Victory close behind at 10%. Following at their tails at 8% are MGD and Miasma Labyrinth, a great piece that will see much more play in the future. Super Hestia, Burning Curiosity, and Summer Live Blues sitting at 6% each. Garden to Single Lady sneaks in at 4%, and sitting at 2% each, meaning one player or less. We have Dance of the Lance, Chime of the Blessed Key, Entwined Supremacy, World Reversal, and Ancient Echo. I wonder what they were playing. What was super fun about this event, and WIXOSS in general, is that you can be a small percentage of the total players on a rig and still top. Overall, the wide range of decks, even counting Tama, as 2 of the 6 players were on blue, black, and Badru instead of the mono white, shows a fun and healthy meta. If you can ignore the 4-up servant in every single list. You know, maybe that should be banned or something, I don't know. All joking aside, this was a super fun event, and I cannot wait for the next. Of course, I feel like the real winner, as the prize box I ended up winning had a question mark Tama in it. There were all sorts of door prizes, raffles, you could win boxes, you could win box toppers. It was just a whole extravaganza, really blew it out of the park as far as a big WIXOSS event. I'm not much of a data guy, but know some of you will get much more out of this. If anyone is interested in further breakdown or specific information, please comment below. If you want to watch the full event coverage in real time, check out DrnkCrunk Franken's channel, who also streams the weekly WIXOSS parties every Sunday at 4 p.m. PST. All top 8 lists are also up under my name, Tomanon, on the deck building site dexos.app, that is DEXOSS.app. Just search for Turn 0 or Tomanon, or follow one of the links that I'll be linking below. I'll have a new video soon about the WIXOSS Sealed Release event and all the goodies you get with that, and a Digimon card game signing, so stay tuned, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thanks for watching.